Imagine you're about to trip on the stairs. You've got half a second before you faceplant. But bam, you hit pause. 10 glorious frozen seconds where the world stops moving. Would that be enough to save you? Or would it just make everything a lot weirder? Okay, here's the deal. In this scenario, you get the power to pause time, but only for exactly 10 seconds. No more, no less. Think of it like a cosmic remote control with a very stingy battery life. The rules are simple. When you hit pause, the entire universe freezes. Falling raindrops hang in the air like glass beads. People mid-sentence stop with their mouths open. Planes freeze in the sky. It's like reality just hit the world's biggest loading screen. But here's the catch. Only you can move. You can walk, think, pick things up. Everything else, stuck in place until those 10 seconds are over. So what can you actually do in 10 seconds? You could grab a sandwich from someone's plate. You could steal French fries one at a time, like a cartoon villain. You could move slightly out of the way of that baseball heading toward your face. Basically, this power would make you unbeatable at dodgeball. But here's the problem. 10 seconds isn't that long. If you're imagining pulling off a full-on bank heist, you'd have to pause time like 30,000 times in a row. And unless your power came with infinite snacks, you'd starve before you finished cracking the vault. Let's think about the physics of it for a second. If the world is frozen, does light freeze too? Because if it does, you'd be in total darkness every time you pause. You'd hit pause and instantly, bam, pitch black. That's not just inconvenient, it's terrifying. But let's say light keeps working so you can still see. What about air? Air molecules normally bounce around, carrying sound and oxygen. If they're frozen, no oxygen is moving into your lungs. Meaning, every time you pause time, you're also holding your breath. Suddenly, those 10 seconds feel a lot more like a mini freediving contest. Of course, if air and light somehow keep working, you could use this power in ridiculous ways. You could pause time to peek at other people's poker hands. You could pause in the middle of an argument, think up the perfect comeback, and then unpause like nothing happened. 10 seconds of pure smugness. Or imagine dropping your phone, pausing time, and just casually picking it up off the air before it smashes. It would feel like living inside a superhero movie, but only for the world's shortest action scene. But here's where things get wild. 10 seconds doesn't sound like much until you realize how often those 10 seconds could save your life. Car about to hit you in a crosswalk? 10 seconds is more than enough to step aside. Pot of boiling water tipping over? 10 seconds to move your foot out of the splash zone. Someone sending a text you really don't want to be forwarded? 10 seconds to grab their phone and stop digital disaster. And if you could use this ability as many times as you wanted, you'd basically be unkillable. Not because you can do huge things, but because you can do tiny corrections at the exact right moment. 10 seconds again and again is the difference between disaster and no problem. So what if you could pause time, but only for 10 seconds? You wouldn't be pulling off billion-dollar heists or living in permanent slow motion, but you would become the ultimate problem dodger. Every accident, every embarrassing moment, every oh no situation suddenly fixable. It's not the flashy kind of superpower. It's the sneaky kind. The kind that makes you look like the luckiest person alive. So, what would you do with your 10 seconds of frozen time? Save yourself from accidents? Prank your friends? Or just steal extra fries? Let me know in the comments. And if you had fun imagining this, hit that like button, subscribe for more What If Science, and remember, sometimes the tiniest superpowers change the world the most.